Hey everyone, so most of us have heard on the news that the IRS has sent out 80 million checks to be delivered by tomorrow, which is Wednesday, April 15th. Now, a lot of your friends have already gotten theirs or are seeing the pending deposit in their bank account. So if you're one of the 70 million who are not in that first round of checks, in this video, I want to tell you when you can expect to get yours and give you a couple of tips to help expedite the process. But before we jump into this, you probably noticed that things tend to change fast. And if you want to stay informed about these changes, be sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any of my updates. So I think it's notable that 80 million checks went out via direct deposit. At first, the IRS was saying that they had deposit information for about 70 million of the payments, which means that at least 10 million individuals gave the IRS their bank information over the past week. Now that's a big number. But the IRS's goal is to send out all of these checks via direct deposit. That's not likely to happen, but if 10 million can be added in 1 week, I think that number can easily double when the new web app is open either today or tomorrow. And I'll circle back to that web app in just a second. Now, the IRS is talking a lot about the first 80 million they've sent out, but they haven't been real specific about when everyone else is going to get their check. Now, the first batch was kind of the low-hanging fruit that was easy. Having the direct deposit information on file made sending out massive batches of ACH transactions fairly easy. From this point on, it gets somewhat murky, but I think we can make sense out of what to expect by piecing together several sources of information. Now, here's who should still be waiting on their stimulus checks. Those who are on Social Security benefits and don't typically file a tax return, those on SSI or only veterans benefits or other government benefit programs, or those who did not provide the IRS their bank information on a 2018 or 19 tax return. And then there's the group that just got missed. Moving forward, here's how the schedule should look according to the House Ways and Means Committee. The next batch of payments should be those who are on Social Security benefits that don't normally file taxes and who have their monthly benefit checks direct deposited. Now, these payments can be expected around the week of April 20th. Then around the week of May 4th, paper checks will start being mailed to everyone else. So if you're not in the first group and you're not on Social Security benefits, you are probably scheduled to receive a paper check unless you take action. Now, these paper checks are going to go out in reverse adjusted gross income order, which means that lower income people will receive theirs first. Now, since the IRS can only send out about 5 million checks per week, this is going to really slow things down. This isn't what the IRS wants, and I know it's not what you want either. It's not too late to get this via direct deposit. In the April 13th press conference, Secretary Mnuchin said this.
If you do not receive them by Wednesday, on Wednesday we will be launching at irs.gov. Click on irs.gov, go to get your payment. If you filed a tax return in 2018 and 19 or 19, have that information available. You'll be able to ID yourself. You'll be able to put in your direct deposit information. And within several days, we will automatically deposit the money into your account. We want to do as much of this electronically as we can. It's very important in this day and age. It's more secure, and you don't have to go to the bank. If you are a Social Security beneficiary, you do not need to do anything. You will get a direct deposit. If you have not filed and did not need to file a 2018 and 19 return, you can go to irs.gov now and enter your information and authenticate yourself. So again,
So it appears that anyone, whether you filed a tax return or not, can still receive your payment via direct deposit and not be forced to wait on snail mail. But you have to go online and use one of the tools they have set up. And once you do that, your payment will go out, according to Secretary Mnuchin, within several days. So let's do a quick side-by-side review of these two tools so you can determine which you need to use, and I'll put a link to both in the description so you can just click on that and access it. The first tool they released is the tool where non-filers can update their bank information. It's specifically designed for those who haven't filed a 2018 or 19 tax return because they are under the normal income limit for filing a return. So if you didn't file a tax return in 2018 or 19, you need to use this tool unless you're receiving Social Security retirement or disability benefits. If that's you, The IRS will get your information from the Social Security Administration and deposit your check into the same account as they use for your monthly benefit check. The only exception to this is for those who are on Social Security with a qualifying dependent. If you have a dependent under the age of 17, you won't receive the $500 for those dependents unless you use this tool to tell them otherwise, or you file a tax return that tells them you have a dependent. The next tool is the Get My Payment tool that's scheduled to be turned on today or tomorrow, and there's really two parts to this. One component is going to be the check tracking. Once this app goes live, you'll be able to put in your Social Security number, date of birth, and mailing address, and then find out the status of your check. So if you're one of the ones that got missed in the first round, you can use this tool to figure out when you should receive your check and then take the action needed. For example, if it says you're scheduled for a paper check, then you know you need to give them your bank information, and you can use this tool to do it. The other component is going to be to allow taxpayers who filed their tax return in 2018 or 19 but did not provide their banking information on their return to submit direct deposit information. So if you've paid taxes and you've never had the reason to give them your bank account, this is the place to give it to them. This is going to give you the opportunity to get it via direct deposit instead of waiting for weeks, if not months, to get it via snail mail. Now, to add your bank account information, you're going to need to gather some information, and I'd recommend getting this together now so you can put it in as soon as this tool is launched, because according to one of the press releases I saw, once your check is scheduled, you will not be able to add your bank information. So if your check gets scheduled before you can add this, then you're going to have to wait on a paper check. So you're going to need your adjusted gross income from your most recent tax return, either 2019 or 2018, the refund or amount owed from your latest filed tax return, and your bank account type, account number, and routing number. There is one thing the app is not going to do that I wish wasn't the case, but I do understand why. You're not going to be able to change bank account information that the IRS already has on file. So if you change bank accounts for whatever reason, that's likely where the payment is going. And they're doing this to avoid fraud, so I get it. I just wish there was another way, but it appears that for now, there's not. So if you haven't gotten your check yet, stay tuned for the release of the Get My Payment app either today or tomorrow. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.